Hey, welcome back. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is the Curiosity Compendium. You know, sometimes a story grabs you not because you understand it, but precisely because you don't. Because it sits there, at the edge of what we know, and whispers of something vast and strange. That's the feeling I get every time I think about a certain morning in the middle of nowhere, Siberia. A morning when the sky, quite literally, split open. Picture this, June 30th, 1908. Deep in the Siberian taiga, near the Podkamennaya Tunguska River. It's just after 7 in the morning. A man named Semyon Borisov is sitting on the front porch of a trading post. The air is still, and then he sees it. A blinding blue-white light, brighter than the sun, tearing across the sky. He says it felt like his shirt was on fire from the heat. Then, the sound. A series of deafening, crashing bangs that felt like artillery fire right overhead. The ground shook so violently it knocked him off his porch. A searing hot wind blasted through the forest, shaking buildings, shattering windows hundreds of miles away. And just like that, it was over. But what on earth, or not of earth, had just happened? That is the Tunguska event. And for decades, it was the greatest cosmic mystery of the modern age. So, what do you do when you witness the apocalypse, and then the world just goes on? For the people in that remote part of Siberia, that's exactly what it felt like. Local Evenki hunters, nomadic reindeer herders, were closest to ground zero. They told stories of a terrifying god, Ogdi, who had come in fire and fury, flattening entire forests and incinerating their herds. Their accounts were haunting, but this was Tsarist Russia, on the brink of revolution. News traveled slowly. The scientific world barely noticed. It would be 19 years before anyone with a notebook and a measuring tape would make the arduous journey to see the scar on the Earth for themselves. That man was Leonid Kulik, a mineralogist obsessed with meteorites. He finally reached the region in 1927, battling through swamps and brutal terrain, fueled by the belief he would find a giant crater filled with precious iron from a colossal meteorite. What he found instead left him speechless. There was no crater. Instead, stretching to the horizon, was a landscape of unimaginable devastation. Millions of trees were flattened, lying in a radial pattern, like matchsticks knocked over by a giant hand. But here's the bizarre part. At the epicenter, a group of trees were still standing, stripped completely bare of branches and bark, scorched into skeletal telegraph poles, but standing. It made no sense. If a giant rock hit the ground, the center should be the deepest hole. This was the opposite. It was as if the destruction had come from the air itself. This is where the mystery deepens, and the theories start to fly. Kulik's initial meteorite hypothesis was in trouble. No crater, no fragments. So what could release the energy of a large nuclear bomb? Some estimates say up to 15 megatons, without leaving a smoking hole in the ground? The leading theory, the one most scientists accept today, is that it was a stony asteroid or a comet, about 50 to 60 meters across. It wasn't that it missed the Earth. It hit the atmosphere head-on, traveling at over 33,000 miles per hour. The pressure and heat were simply too much. It exploded in a massive fireball, what we call an airburst, roughly 5 to 10 kilometers above the ground. The shockwave was that giant, invisible fist that punched the forest flat. The radiant heat scorched the trees upright. It was a natural thermonuclear detonation with no radioactivity. This theory got a huge boost in 2013, when a similar, though much smaller, airburst happened over Chelyabinsk, Russia. We caught that one on dashboard cameras. It was a perfect, smaller-scale validation of the physics at play at Tunguska. But of course, with a mystery this grand, other ideas flourish. A tiny black hole passing through the Earth? An alien spacecraft suffering a catastrophic malfunction? Nikola Tesla even got involved in the speculation, with some suggesting his experiments in wireless power transmission might have, somehow, accidentally caused it. While these are fascinating thought experiments, they're just that. The beauty of the scientific process is that it follows the evidence, and the evidence points to a natural, albeit terrifyingly powerful, cosmic event. Now, I'm an engineer by trade. I live in a world of logic, of cause and effect, of elegant solutions. But stories like Tunguska, they humble me. They remind me that our understanding is a tiny island in a vast ocean of the unknown. I think about those hunters, the Evenki people, who had a framework for understanding the world that was completely upended in an instant. Their explanation, the wrath of a god, was just as valid to them as our explanation of a celestial airburst is to us. It was a story that helped them make sense of the incomprehensible. And isn't that what we're all doing? That's the personal reflection I'm left with. We build our lives, our cities, our technologies with a certain confidence. We look up at a clear sky and see emptiness. But Tunguska is a reminder that space isn't empty. It's dynamic, and it's filled with ancient, fast-moving debris left over from the construction of our solar system. It's a cosmic shooting gallery, and we're living in it. That event over Siberia, had it happened just 4 hours later, would have wiped out the city of St. Petersburg. The randomness of it is staggering. It makes you think about fragility, about chance, and about the incredible, unlikely series of events that allows us to be here at all, on this quiet planet, telling stories about the day the sky exploded. So what's the takeaway from Tunguska? It's more than just a cool mystery. It's a benchmark. It showed us the destructive potential of objects we can't even see until they're practically on top of us. It directly led to the modern field of planetary defense, the telescopes and projects dedicated to finding and tracking near-Earth objects, because what happened once can absolutely happen again. Tunguska was a wake-up call from the universe, delivered a century ago to a remote forest. We're only just now learning how to listen. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive into one of history's most fascinating anomalies. If you enjoyed wandering through this mystery with me, please do share this episode with a fellow curious mind. For more stories that explore the edges of our understanding, make sure you're subscribed to the Curiosity Compendium wherever you get your podcasts. This is Abnul J. Farabi from Light Not Studios. Until next time, stay curious.